It is just that some of you have some problems in the form of queries, confusions, that we talk like aggressively sometime or like this. Otherwise, we will be more chit-chatting while enjoying each other's company, each other's presence, not company. Because company is more like a, it's like solid presence, you can say, and your presence is very liquid. And if in this, let's say, container of this room, if 8 rivers of water are poured in, there would not be 8 rivers anymore. Immediately they will lose their entity. Then there will be one thing, enjoying. Although by the miracle of life, by this the perfection of life, you will be there, maybe not as a river, but you are there to enjoy. It's not a suicide. Knowing yourself is not a suicide. Knowing yourself is moving to the higher self, like claiming your inheritance. Your father has inherited a lot of money, and now you are claiming that. To claim a big castle, you will have to lose your small hut. And if you fall in love with your small hut, and you say, no, this is the best way of living, and this is the only thing I know of, and this is the only thing I have, and your father was very tricky. He made the bill that before you enter the palace, you will have to burn your hut. And only you can be sure whether you will get it or not. This is what he said in the bill now. So it's okay. Now whether you trust or not, it's up to you. So now the game is, if you are satisfied with your hut, nothing can do anything, nobody can do anything. The liar will keep coming every day, but you will not listen. And then after some time, liar will stop coming to you. And after some time, you will start suffocating. First of all, because it was anyway suffocating. Secondly, now you have got a news. There is a possibility of living in a castle, in a palace. Now, slowly, it will start becoming darker and darker for you, this hut. Now the opposite will happen. Now you will start searching for the liar who brought the bill. But okay, where are you? And now he disappeared. And remember, this all is part of the plan your father had for you. It's all as per the plan. Because your father knew you will not trust so easily. He's your father, no? So he knew you very well. You will not trust so easily. So it was the instruction to that liar that you disappear after that. Let him waste some time. Let him suffer, so that he value. When he gets in touch with you, then he listen to you. And that's how it seems to me. And after a lot of arduous efforts, you meet some special instructors, teachers who are experts in finding lost lawyers, and you meet them and you pay them silent retreat and things like this, charges for this, and you go through the groups and all, and then after that when you meet the liar, he will say, okay, so you want me to explain? No, take me to the palace. I have burnt my hut already. I am living on the road. So it doesn't matter now. You just take me like this. This is the whole journey, I would say. Journey from a hut to the palace. But in this journey, the hidden purpose of your father was to teach you a lesson. Not that he wanted you to find difficulties in claiming your inheritance. It was anyway yours. He wanted to teach you some lesson. He wanted to open your eyes for something deeper. That life moves through intelligence, not through holding, not through acquiring. Life moves through clarity. That when you have this clarity that it doesn't matter how much risk involved in getting to this palace, anyway having a hut is not worth this clarity. That I am not going to live a satisfied life in this hut, this clarity. So this life want to teach you something. All the experiences, all the events in life, they are nothing but a effort from life, from source, from your father, to teach you something in a very strategic way, in a very planned way, so that you don't detect what's going on. Because if you can detect, because you are also his son, no, or daughter, you also have this intelligence, so very easily you can detect. I am referring to the intelligence of the mind right now. So your mind also has this power to detect. I feel in myself, I noticed at one point, I read so many books, scriptures and all this stuff. In my whole life I read all this. So I had many reference points, many stories of people being awakened. So I knew so many situations in which it happens. And a similar situation happening to me, experience, mind will come in. Okay, so it's happening now. And obviously then it will not happen. I got so frustrated. And how possible it is going to happen to me, because now I know everything already. I am ready for everything now. And what life wants me to, I need to be unattended somehow, There must be some time when I am not prepared, unprepared, and life just rushes in, and then it can give me a shock and I can wake up, But how it will happen? Because my mind has become so powerful. It has become awakened. My mind has become awakened, like this in a way. It knows all the subtle things about this awakening and all this stuff. But it was just a childish idea I had. Because whatever mind can conceive is not very small compared to the intelligence of the being. It is nothing. It's not small, it is just nothing. It's simply nothing, I want to say this again. So don't worry. The source of the mind is the being. So it just simply doesn't matter. It very easily knows how it can drive it easily. Okay. Anybody want to ask anything? Or ask or say or share anything? Feel like?
Yeah, right now when you said that the source of the mind is the being, so sometimes when you start losing your mind, it requires a lot of trust that you can still live without the mind.
Yes. Actually, you are.
How can I live without the mind?
Actually, you are continuously living without the mind. Every day, every moment. Why we feel that we are not living without the mind is, on top of the mind movements, we have a sense of continuity. So even the discontinuous movements of mind, discontinuous events have been kind of stitched together through a rope of ego, mind or something, entity, and it looks like one, like a continuity. There is no continuity anywhere. There is only one thing which is continuous, you. Mind is anyway never continuous. So you are continuously living without the mind. It's just that you don't notice the gaps. They are kind of overfilled. While this gap is happening, your ego mind will create some story around it, and you will overlook and kind of jump over it and never notice. What we know as a glimpse of ourself, taste of ourself, spiritual experience or anything, is nothing but the time when mind failed, ego mind failed to fill the gap, and you fell into it, into yourself. And oh, I had a beautiful experience. It is the failure of the ego mind when you get any taste of yourself. So it's, I think, but I understand your question. It looks like this. But how I will live without mind? You don't need to live without mind. You need to live without ego mind. Mind as such continuously functions perfectly well. It is just the false center in the mind which is moving now to the heart, and which feels kind of worried what will happen, because it does not know any other way of living except through the mind, except in the mind, except in relation with the mind. I mean, it doesn't know how to live with feelings, how to think through feelings, let's say, how to plan through feelings. That okay, some person comes to me and he says, would you like to do this? And now I don't have mind, then I will have to use my feeling or something else. And I don't know how to feel it, use it. So then I feel like, I don't know. So there is a lag. It's like a like a middle point, like a limbo period which everybody has to go through, where you are neither here nor here. Your present ego mind is shaking, dissolving, coming back to the heart, and my heart has not started functioning fully yet. And this fear is normal. In fact, in this fear also I see some learning, because in this fear you become more and more alert, more and more alert. This fear wakes you up more and more and more and more and more. So by the time you reach to the heart, you are already so full of awareness. I think everything that happens in life has some reason, some purpose anyway. Not a separate purpose, but as a whole, the big plan life has for you, it is part of it. Because Muji has said many times, life never wastes any of its expressions. Even if anything like worries or fear or anything is happening, there must be something in it. I mean, it's like it wants to do something to you, and as long as you try to escape from it, you will be basically saying to the doctor, no, I don't want the medicine, I don't want medicine. Whereas if you can consume it, the bitterness and everything will disappear immediately, bitterness of any experience, fear or anything, and you will be healed from your ego mind problems. So that's how I look at it. Maybe we can talk more also. It's a very important topic for every seeker actually. Also here the same thing comes, that I have fear. What will happen when my mind doesn't work? How I will live? But are you happy living through the mind? Are you satisfied living through the mind? My approach has been from the very beginning actually that it's not that I heard also saying that when you have stones in your hands, and when you see diamonds, you will throw the stones and pick the diamonds anyway. So you don't worry about the stones. My approach has been that okay, it will happen when it will happen. But right now it is not happening. I don't see any stones, any diamonds. But I can clearly see these stones are useless. They are not giving anything to me. So why to carry the weight? Just be burdenless, and at least I can dance, move my hands the way I want to. Because anyway, they are not giving anything to me. This has been my approach. Be clear. What you have, is it adding any value in your life or not? If it is not adding any value, drop it now. Don't worry about having more or beautiful things in place of it as a replacement. That will happen when it will happen. There is no point carrying a cancer in your being. There is no point carrying a burden in your head, in your body or anywhere. When you were a child, you collected many small toys, but now you have grown up. You are grown up, and you are able to see they are not of any use for you anymore. Then you will drop them slowly. Maybe memory and things like this will come in the way that no, I don't want to leave it. But slowly you will understand it is just a burden. Because even without having anything and remaining empty is much better than being burden, So this has been my approach. Don't compromise. Even if you are empty, you don't have anything, it is much better. Much better to remain empty than to fill yourself with something which you don't like a compromise because you cannot stay empty. Or out of habit you feel like something must be filled in you. Much better to stay empty. Because as I see, only in an empty heart the divine appears, comes in. Sings a song and lives there. Don't wait for the divine to come in so that it can clean your heart. You clean your heart before he comes. And be ready and wait. And even in this waiting, you will feel much more joy than you have ever felt in your life, in the whole activities, all the experiences and anything. Because it is connected with the divine. Now you are sure that yes, today or tomorrow he will come. So every day you wait, and you are cleaning more and more. You check every day more dust. You detect subtle things, and you keep cleaning and cleaning and cleaning.